Haruka, at 25, has always appreciated her life. She finds joy in the little things. For her, being single is not an emptiness, but a rich chapter of self-discovery. One crisp evening, Haruka dined at a quaint city restaurant with a close friend. Her attention drifted to a nearby table, where a young man sat alone, quietly observing the world with gentle curiosity. There was a warmth to his presence, an understated energy that caught her eye. He noticed her as well, drawn not just to her appearance, but to the confidence and lightheartedness she carried. Neither approached immediately. Instead, they shared a fleeting, unspoken acknowledgement, a subtle moment of mutual awareness. Haruka found herself smiling more, reflecting on how a single unplanned encounter could spark curiosity and excitement. She realized that life's most meaningful experiences often arise spontaneously in moments of presence and attention. That evening planted the seeds of connection, an unfolding story of friendship, respect, and the gentle beginnings of affection. Haruka's openness to the small wonders around her had set the stage for experiences that would deepen her understanding of love, trust, and human connection. The days after their first meeting at the restaurant, Haruka didn't expect to see Shinji again so soon, but fate always arranged moments when she least expected them. While walking on a crowded street, she noticed a familiar face in the crowd. There he was, Shinji, looking equally surprised to see her. Their eyes met, and an almost unconscious smile spread across both their faces. In that moment, a bridge was quietly built, a bridge that allowed a friendship to grow naturally from simple curiosity and mutual respect. They began spending time together, initially in casual, low-pressure ways. Haruka found herself intrigued, not just by Shinji's calm demeanor, but by the way he listened attentively, as if every word she spoke mattered. And Shinji, in turn, admired Haruka's ability to find joy in everyday moments, her ability to laugh freely, and to express herself without fear or pretense. Their conversations, sometimes light and playful, sometimes reflective and deep, created a sense of ease and trust that neither had anticipated, but both welcomed warmly. As they spent more time together, the beauty of small gestures became apparent. Haruka would bring a favorite snack she had discovered and offer it to Shinji, noticing the subtle delight on his face when he tried it for the first time. Shinji would share insights about the city, little-known spots that only locals would know. These interactions, simple on the surface, carried an unspoken lesson about attentiveness and care. They demonstrated that meaningful connections do not require grand gestures or dramatic declarations. They thrive in consistency, thoughtfulness, and the willingness to share moments openly. Haruka realized something profound. The joy she experienced around Shinji was not fleeting. It was a reflection of shared values and mutual respect. It wasn't just attraction. It was an alignment of outlooks and a recognition of each other's humanity. As their friendship deepened, they naturally started to celebrate life's smaller milestones together. Shinji remembered Haruka's favorite book series and surprised her with the latest installment, thoughtfully annotated with notes reflecting their shared conversations. Haruka reciprocated by creating a small, handcrafted scrapbook of moments from their outings, highlighting the laughter, the quiet reflections, and the beauty of ordinary days. These acts, simple yet intentional, underscored the importance of attentiveness in relationships and highlighted how meaningful gestures are often more impactful than grandiose displays. Through these experiences, Haruka and Shinji began to understand a larger truth, that friendship itself is an art, requiring patience, care, and willingness to see and appreciate the other person fully. Each shared meal, each conversation, each laugh reinforced the foundation of trust and mutual respect. It was in these unhurried, authentic moments that their connection became stronger, deeper, and emotionally richer than either had imagined possible. By the time the first few months had passed, what had started as a series of chance encounters had blossomed into a consistent, supportive presence in each other's lives. There was an unmistakable excitement in knowing that someone cared so deeply, that someone valued both the mundane and the extraordinary aspects of life together. This period of excitement, of discovery, was a vivid illustration of the beauty of patience, attentiveness, and nurturing connection, an essential lesson for anyone seeking meaningful, lasting relationships. Haruka's heart, once content in solitude, now felt the warm, energizing pull of a friendship that could evolve into something even greater. The thrill was not in dramatic declarations or sudden, overwhelming gestures, but in the simple, persistent joy of companionship, shared growth, and mutual support. In the process, both Haruka and Shinji were learning one of life's most important lessons, that the strongest bonds are often those built slowly, with mindfulness, kindness, and a genuine desire to understand and uplift one another. As the seasons changed, Haruka and Shinji's friendship had grown into something profoundly meaningful. Yet life, as it always does, introduced subtle challenges that tested their bond. These were not dramatic confrontations or crises, but gentle lessons in empathy, patience, and understanding moments that allowed them to explore not only each other's character, but also their own. Haruka, who had always been independent and confident, began to notice Shinji's moments of quiet struggle. Perhaps it was a demanding week at work or the stress of unexpected responsibilities. She observed the fatigue in his eyes and the slight tension in his posture. Rather than reacting impulsively or assuming she could fix everything, Haruka chose to respond with care and thoughtfulness. She offered small gestures of support, preparing a comforting meal, suggesting a walk in the nearby park, or simply lending an attentive ear. These actions, though simple, were meaningful because they were deliberate and empathetic. Shinji, on his part, appreciated her presence not as a solution to his problems, but as a source of calm and understanding, a safe space in which he could be vulnerable without judgment. There were also moments when Haruka herself faced uncertainty. Her own ambitions, combined with the fast pace of life, occasionally created inner tension. She questioned whether investing emotional energy in someone else might compromise her independence or disrupt her personal growth. In these reflective periods, Shinji's patient, non-demanding presence became a quiet anchor. He never pressured her to act or feel a certain way. He simply offered trust, allowing their connection to deepen naturally. This mutual respect for boundaries and individuality reinforced the understanding that healthy relationships thrive not by merging identities, but by nurturing each other's growth. Amid these personal reflections, they shared experiences that highlighted the power of resilience and mutual encouragement. One rainy afternoon, a minor misunderstanding arose when plans they had looked forward to were unexpectedly disrupted. Haruka felt momentarily disappointed, and Shinji sensed her frustration. Instead of letting frustration create distance, they stop, talk openly, and work together to find solutions that respect both of their feelings. They choose to embrace the unexpected, laugh at the irony, and find joy in the disruption. These moments, however small, are important reminders that emotional maturity, patience, empathy, and honest communication are the foundation of lasting relationships. By the end of this season of gentle challenges, Haruka and Shinji recognized that their connection had evolved into something deeper. The initial excitement had matured into a relationship enriched by respect, empathy, and shared learning. They had discovered the essential truth that love, when rooted in friendship, trust, and consistent care, becomes resilient and lasting. The drama they encountered was not traumatic or painful in the usual sense. It was subtle, reflective, and ultimately constructive, a series of moments that strengthened both their individual selves and their bond together. And through it all, they were learning a critical life lesson. True relationships are not defined by grand gestures or perfection, but by presence, understanding, and the patience to grow together through both joy and subtle challenges. Haruka and Shinji's story was becoming not just a tale of love, but a living lesson in compassion, emotional intelligence, and the extraordinary power of everyday connection. Haruka and Shinji's journey reminds us that the strongest relationships grow from friendship, trust, and everyday care. Life's small moments, shared laughter, thoughtful gestures, and patient understanding can transform connections into lasting love.